No, that's not all the cars because we got a lot of space in there. Green.
Orange, yellow, green,
and blue. Gosh. Oh my goodness. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to a brand new vlog. So I'm going to sit down and talk to you guys about my 6-week postpartum appointment, how everything's going, how it went. A lot of you have been asking me questions, so I figured I would answer them. I had my appointment yesterday, but not only did I have my 6-week postpartum appointment, that also means little Emma is closing in, or is 6 months. She'll be 6 months. Am I saying months?
Well, you said weeks up until you said months.
Okay, so I caught myself. There's so many times where I catch myself or I don't catch myself, and then I'm editing the vlog and I'm like, you're saying the wrong thing. Anyways, she will be 6 weeks. When will she be 6 weeks? Why am I having such a hard time with this?
Was it?
I'm gonna have to look at a calendar. My brain. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, see, I was gonna be right. She'll be 6 weeks on Saturday. So I had my 6-week appointment a couple days early, but I did pull loads of questions for you guys. I love these kinds of videos. I love chit-chatting. I love sitting down and talking to you all. So I'm gonna get ready and do my makeup while answering your questions, and then we're just gonna kind of continue on with the day. A brief pause on today's video to talk to you guys about today's sponsor, who is Ritual, which you guys already know. I'm a huge fan of Ritual. I have started taking their prenatals when I was pregnant with Liam. Actually, before I was pregnant with Liam. It is best to start taking a prenatal 6 months before trying to conceive. So I took my Ritual prenatal vitamins when I was pregnant with Liam, and I also took them my entire pregnancy with Emma. I have now since moved on, however, to the postnatal vitamin, which is formulated for the new nutrient demands on a mother up to 6 months postpartum and throughout lactation. These are mint essenced, and then Larry is also taking the Ritual Essential for Men multivitamin 50 plus. Had to get Larry on a multivitamin, and I believe his are citrus. Oh no, they're mint as well. So you can get them either mint or citrus essenced, which is really nice. The Ritual vitamins can also be taken on an empty stomach, which is key. And when you're already a little nauseous and not feeling good through pregnancy, the worst thing is when you take a vitamin that's supposed to be helping you and then you get nauseous anyways. These do not do that for me, which is amazing. So you are meant to take 2 a day. These are almost empty. Larry and I are on our current bottles. He has today's dose left. I have today and tomorrow. We do have our backups. Ritual is a subscription. It comes straight to your door, so you don't have to think about it, which is always a win. I don't think I have my water over here, but we're gonna take our vitamins, which are a combination of dry and wet ingredients. Ritual is formulated with clean, high quality ingredients that are vegan, non-GMO, gluten, and major allergen free. They're also made traceable, and they are mom founded, which is a huge win and super fun. If any of you are watching, are looking for a vitamin and want to give Ritual a try, you can get 25% off by using my code Mindy25 on your first order with Ritual. And thank you, Ritual, so much for sponsoring this portion of today's video. Okay, so let's go with number 1 is, how is your recovery? Is it better than expected? Oh my gosh, yes, 100% better than I had expected. I was really kind of worried about recovery. It was probably one of my biggest, I don't want to call it a fear, but one of my biggest concerns going into it. I was so worried about it because with Liam, I tore and had an episiotomy, and the healing from that was really awful and very painful. And then I had the constipation along with it. So I just knew what potentially I could expect with this round, and I was very nervous. Wouldn't you say that was like my only kind of concern, Larry, going through pregnancy and like the postpartum? On top of like my...
It was kind of a bundle of concerns, but that was the primary description.
Yeah, I wasn't even worried about labor. Like, I was ready for labor. It was the healing that I was so concerned about. But this one has been just totally different. I still had an episiotomy, but I didn't tear first, then also have an episiotomy. I just had a smaller incision episiotomy, more of a guided cut. I have heard though that they're trying to get away from doing that, but I did have one and my healing was much better. I would say at the 2-week mark, I felt amazing, truthfully. Like, now I wouldn't say amazing, like full on myself, but I was healed enough that I felt like I could get moving-ish again. My stitches weren't all the way gone because they were dissolvable. There was like one that was hanging on, but now at the 6-week mark, I can say that they are completely gone, completely dissolved, and I feel really great. I am still spotting though, which is very bizarre. We did talk about that, so they want to keep an eye on that, and I will go back in like 2 months. So they said if you're still like bleeding continuously, just let us know. But it's not like bleeding, it's more of like spotting. But then it turned red yesterday and I was like, is that a period? But then it was gone the next day, so I guess not. Anyways, I talked about all of this with my OB and she was like, just let me know if it keeps happening. So far, it doesn't sound like a concern, so that's great. So to answer your question in a very chatty way, how is your recovery? Better than expected. Recovery has been very nice, and yes, better than expected. I would also say and give like full credit and a lot of credit, I mean, to my husband, to Larry, because in those early days, your recovery is so important. You don't feel good and you're trying to take care of your newborn, take care of your toddler. And I could imagine being like a single mom, how difficult that would be without any help in the house. And I'm just so thankful that I have Larry because, you know, he was able to pick up Liam and do those things for me and help me so I could heal and not rip a stitch. And, you know, so it was very helpful. So huge shout out to Larry that, you know, he's just the sweetest. So that was also helpful in my recovery. After having Emma, does it make you just want to do it one more time? That is, I'm so torn on that. Like, yes and no. Like, there's times that I look at her and I'm like, I can't believe, like, you know, if we never do it again, she is our, you know, she is our last baby, you know what I mean? And sometimes I look at her and I'm like, how are you my last little munchkin? Like, it's so sad. It's like, she'll never, every time I look at her, I'm like, you will never be this young and this little in this moment again. Like, every second we're all aging, every day we're aging. I mean, it's just so wild. So there's like sentimental parts for sure that I'm just like, but we are definitely done. I know I had a lot of comments about that, like asking if we were going to go forward with another round of IVF. I mean, never say never. You never know what could happen. But like, honestly, guys, I think we are very happy, very content with 2 and, you know, done. I just also, going through, it is not for the faint. Like, IVF, it is a lot. It's a lot emotionally, it's a lot physically, mentally, the cost, and it's just the shots, it's the medications that you're putting your body through. It is a lot, and it is a long journey. It's not something that happens overnight. It is a long process, and it can be like mentally devastating, and it can also be wonderful at times. But yeah, I just think definitely done. But again, never say never, seldom say always. That's what Larry always says, so you never know. How is Lexi adjusting to the baby? Oh my gosh, you guys. First of all, she adores Liam. Okay, so she always sits by him, even in like chaos zones. Like, we're playing cars and cars are ramming together and we're building blocks and blocks are falling over. Oh no, Lexi will sit right there in the midst of the chaos because she wants to be wherever Liam is. So she has always been so good with Liam. And then when Emma came in, like, it's the same thing. Like, she just will sit and stare. When Emma's in her bassinet next to the bed, she'll literally lay on our bed and just stare at her through the bassinet. It is so stinking cute. And she doesn't ever try to like climb into the bassinet. She doesn't try to, she keeps her distance, but like is always watching, and it's just so adorable. So she's a very, very good kitty. We are very blessed in that way. And the kiddos also do very good with her. Like, Liam has never ever once like pulled her tail or hit her. He is so gentle with her. We've taught that like since day one. Like, we're gentle with our pets, not to sound like Miss Rachel, but like, we're gentle with our pets. Like, we're very gentle. So he'll pet, never hit, doesn't pull the tail. We're very lucky there. I know that is a very common toddler thing that can happen, but we are fortunate in that way. So Lexi is good with the babies, and the babies are good with the kitty. Okay, this next question is, how has the transition been going from 1 baby to 2? And I have briefly mentioned this in vlogs, so I'm not gonna like harp on this one too long, but I definitely think the transition from 1 to 2 was very smooth. It was very seamless for us. I feel like Emma just kind of like came into our existing unit and family, and it was really nice. Liam has been so good with her, very gentle with her, gives her kisses, helps me to help her. Like, he'll run and get a diaper. We've always tried to include him in that. So like, he'll run and get a diaper, he'll run and get her binky, he'll run and say, mommy, help Emma. Like, he's very, very attentive and very good. So I feel like that transition, we were lucky in ways, because I know it doesn't always go that way, right? Like, you may have jealousy at times, and there's this new little human that comes in, and the routines are different and stuff, but I feel like, I don't want to say it's been great. I just feel like it's been great because Liam has had a smooth transition with it. Like, he has, you know, reacted well, which made it easier, is what I'm trying to say. And then we have already been used to, like, you know, sleepless nights. We knew what to expect with a newborn. And I feel like that transition from 0 to 1 is basically like this wake up call of, whoa, like the life that you had before baby is totally, totally different once that baby arrives. And I don't think any of us really comprehend it until you've done it. I just feel like the transition from 0 to 1 is much more difficult than the transition from 1 to 2. But with that being said, Emma is a great sleeper. She's not colicky. Liam adjusted very well to Emma coming into the household. And I think those are like key factors on making it like that it is a smoother transition, because I know that isn't always the case. So you have a very colicky baby, a toddler that's upset with this new little human that came into the house, and that can make it difficult. So just challenging at the time, but things do get better. But we've been very blessed, and yeah. How have your emotions been? Let me see. Honestly, I feel like quite stable, but also like I'll cry if I look at Emma, like looking at her being so tiny and so little, knowing that the time is gonna fly. I keep looking at her and seeing Liam when he was a baby and being like, he's now 2.5, like going to be 3. And that time just flew by. So that there's that. But other than that, I feel really good. I feel lucky to be feeling as well as I do. But again, I have Larry here for support, which is very helpful. So we are tag teaming, and when I need to edit and get things done and emails and, you know, brands and stuff like that, I have him here and he's helping me. I know that I'm very fortunate to be in the situation that I'm in, where we have each other to lean on. So that makes a difference. In your opinion, is the newborn phase harder with a toddler? No, I don't think it is. Well, here's what I will say about that. I will say that I feel like I get that mom guilt where I know Liam, like when he was a newborn, he got the full undivided attention, all attention on Liam. And I feel like that doesn't happen with the second or your third or your fourth. Like, you know, you're split between kids, right? So I have that mom guilt where I'm like, I'm not, you know, there enough, or which I'm there, but it's like I'm splitting my time, and that mom guilt sets in when that happens. But I think that's also a normal. Let me know how you guys kind of felt about that transition with going from 1 to 2, or even 2 to 3, and then just like trying to be present and give everybody an equal amount of yourself. So let me know, how did you guys transition with that? Every phase with your baby will change. Like, I know eventually she'll begin teething and we'll be in a different zone than we're at now. Like right now she's very peaceful. She's doing great on her formula. Like, she sleeps really well. She's just a very happy baby. So I know that that makes a difference. Okay, this next question is, are you breastfeeding your beautiful baby Emma? And I have touched on this, but if you have missed it, I started breastfeeding in the hospital until the day that we had left. Like, we were just getting ready to leave the hospital. Emma was like frantically searching. It was a mess. She was unhappy. She was unsettled. And I started getting very upset and very overwhelmed emotionally, thinking, how am I going to maintain this and maintain Liam? And I know people do all the time, and that is amazing for you guys, for whoever does, like, so amazing. But I myself personally was having like difficulties with that, and I was getting very emotionally overwhelmed, sobbing in the hospital. And after talking to the nurse about the situation and how I was feeling, they were like, why don't we just try, you can always supplement, let's just see how this goes. And I gave her that bottle, and then I was splitting my time between, I was doing bottle formula at nighttime when we came home, and then breast milk all during the day. And then that just kind of like dwindled down, and I kind of transitioned into formula full time, which she's thriving on and doing amazing on. And as we have all heard a million times, fed is best. That is the journey that we are in. That is what worked specifically for us and our family and for Emma. So that is what we did, and I'm very thankful. How have your migraines been postpartum? Great question. Guys, I had my last, knock on wood, please God, I had my last migraine on Christmas Eve. I got whacked with the worst migraine, one of the worst ones I've had in a long time, on Christmas Eve. I had it for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and the day after, which is like the worst, especially after coming off of Vlogmas. It was the Christmas holiday, and I'm like, wow, that sucks. But that is the last time I had a migraine. I have had headaches, but I've been able to control them with just like Excedrin tension headache and Excedrin migraine, and I've been okay. Also, not a doctor, not recommending anything. I'm just personally saying what works for me. So luckily I have not had one yet, but when I was at my OB yesterday, I did ask her if she could refill my migraine medication just in case one of those surfaces, because I know right now my body's going through like the hormone transitions. I am not breastfeeding or pumping, which means I will get probably a period sooner. I know with Liam, I didn't get a period until a year, like postpartum, which was glorious. But I have a feeling this time it will come sooner because I am not pumping and breastfeeding, as I just said. So I'm worried that once my hormones start to get back to that normal range, I might start getting them again, and I'm not looking forward to that. So no, I haven't had one yet, but I am prepared. I am going to pick up my migraine medication. I have my ice packs, Oh, guys, those head ice packs, man, I had a lot of headaches and migraines with Emma. I think that had a lot to do with my low iron, because when I did get those iron infusions, those horrible pounding headaches went away. That was all because of the low iron. It's crazy what a difference that made. Are you considering having more littles? Please reconsider. Ooh. Briefly stated in this, I don't think so. There's a lot that went into it, a lot that, just a lot. You never know. Like I said, you never know, but I don't think so. Another question is, did your armpit lump go away? Yes, it did. So we are full on thinking it was a little fatty still when I went in there, like you could see it. But here, I'm gonna be brutally honest here with my situation. We were thinking it was like at the time, like a swollen lymph node, and most likely that's still what it is. But also when women gain weight, we gain it. She said, the doctor said that it shows up a lot like in here and in your armpits, and it could also be like, armpit, fat that had accumulated. Plus she said it was like a swollen lymph node, but she pushed in there, she pressed in there, she checked, we are good to go. Thank goodness, because I was like, what is this? Like I would shower and shake my armpit, and this one's like all nice and flat, and this one has like this bulge, and I'm like, that's weird. But anyways, it appears that all is well. That is all the questions that I pulled because I was in a hurry. It was running out and about yesterday. So let me go back into Instagram and see if there is any other questions that you guys had. Here's a comment or a question. How is your belly now after postpartum? Can I see a pic of your belly? I do believe this is a picture of a male that asked that question. Do I even say, I'm kind of, oh. This next question is, how has losing the pregnancy weight been? And I will close on this question. So if you are sensitive to any kind of weight topics, go ahead and skip this portion of the video. Basically, I lost 30 pounds after having Emma. That has a lot to do with like your water weight, the placenta, everything that's going on, and I have plateaued. It was 189 when I went into the hospital, and I have since lost the 30 and I have plateaued right around that 160 mark. When I went before getting pregnant, I was 145. So that's kind of like where I'm at right now. I have plateaued at my 160. I am okay with that. And basically now that I have plateaued and my body has kind of, you know, evened itself out. Now I'm starting to go on my walks on the treadmill, and I am starting to kind of watch what I eat, really focus on protein and like healthier options. So that is what I am working on. I'm not like full committed to like making sure that I lose that weight to get down to what I was. Guys, it's just, this is motherhood. I'm in the transition and I'm just taking care of my body. That is my goal now, is going on my walks, stretching, and trying to eat well in moderation. You guys know me. I love pizza. I love chocolates. I love nerds. You know what I mean? Like, so also holidays, birthdays, all of that kind of stuff. So I'm a balanced individual. So that is what I plan to continue to do. There are sometimes, honestly, when I look at myself and I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? But again, I think we go through that. Well, I go through that. That's okay. And we're just taking it day by day with what we can do. I know in that final stage of pregnancy though, guys, I was so uncomfortable. I would injure myself rolling over in bed. My shoulder is still recovering. Like, I actually hurt my shoulder rolling over. I was putting so much weight on my shoulder. I could not roll over. It was like a whole thing. So to lose a lot of that water weight felt so nice, and just like, you know, baby weight and everything. It just, my body feels much better, which is great. I can bend over and pick up things without pain. All right, I think this is about, we're gonna wrap up on our I almost said month again, 6-week postpartum chat and continue on with the rest of our day, whatever that may bring. Thank you for sending in all of your 6-week postpartum questions, and thank you for all of your love and support through pregnancy and the journey and everything. It means the world to us. So anyways, guys, let's continue on. Cheers, using my little bear cup, a bear hug in a mug. Adorable. One of you guys informed me actually that the reason I can't ever find links to products that I pick up at Marshall's, I think you were saying basically because it's products that didn't sell at other stores, and then it goes down to Marshall's and TJ Maxx at a discounted price. I think that is what you were saying. And it's not, you can't buy those in store anymore, I guess. I don't know. But then Marshall's and a Target, or not Target, but Marshall's and TJ Maxx, you can buy things online. I don't know. Anyways, going on a rant. Cheers to coffee. Ooh, our camera's overheating. Welcome to the laundry room / my little workout room. So do you guys remember when the treadmill used to be in the bedroom? Not anymore. I feel like not since I moved the desk over, obviously. I think I filmed it actually, and then added the bassinet. So treadmill is in here, which I have started using, so that's a win, but I am throwing a load in the wash. I feel like the laundry is one of those never-ending tasks, and it's got to be done like every day. I don't know, since having two, especially even with one, I just feel like laundry, there's always laundry. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm saying this because you guys see me do it a lot in the vlogs, because it's what I do in my life. I don't have that very much of an exciting life. So sometimes I get in my head about my vlogs. I'm like, it's kind of like just my little life on what I'm getting up to at home. So, but I know, I'm hoping a lot of you guys relate to that. So hopefully you enjoy it. But anyways, I'm going to plop that in. I just got done vacuuming the entire house, so that was nice. Larry and Liam have just popped out. They are running some errands and they're running out and about. So it's just little Emma and I at home right now, and she is napping. So I am running around trying to vacuum and get the stuff done before Liam and Larry come back. By the time they get back, it'll probably be time for dinner. I'm thinking one of those Kevin's meals. We are really into those. Yeah, we really like them. They're super easy and they're so good. Like, the meat is so tender. I don't know how they do it, but they do it and they do it well. So I'm thinking one of those tonight. Let's heat up our second cup of the coffee for like the 4th time today. Larry and Liam just got home, and Larry, well actually Liam was walking up the front steps with this little car set, and he was so excited about it. So where did you guys get it?
Walmart.
Walmart. That's so fun. So he's very excited about his car set. Do you want me to take these out for you?
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
See?
Lightning McQueen, yeah.